There are moments in history when the veil thins, when a mind touches upon a truth so profound it threatens to rewrite the very code of our existence. And then, history shows us what often happens to such minds. They are silenced. In 1991, Michael Talbot published The Holographic Universe, a book that meticulously argued our solid reality is a grand illusion, a projection of a deeper, interconnected dimension. Just a year later, he was dead at the age of 38. Then, in 1994, Dr. Jacobo Grinberg, a brilliant neurophysiologist who had scientifically documented a unified field of consciousness connecting all human minds, vanished without a trace from his laboratory in Mexico. His work, his data, his legacy gone. We are taught to call these events a coincidence, a tragedy. But what if they are something more? What if they are punctuation marks in a story we have been programmed to ignore? A story not about random chance, but about a cosmic conspiracy. Not a conspiracy against you, but a conspiracy for you, operating through the very fabric of your consciousness. For decades, the discoveries of these pioneers were pushed to the fringes, dismissed as esoterica. But their work was not philosophy, it was a map. A map showing how our inner world of thought and feeling sculpts the outer world of circumstance. And today, we put the pieces of that map back together. This is not about believing in signs from the universe. This is about understanding that you are the universe, learning its language. Have you ever felt it? That strange, electric hum in the moments between moments. You think of a song you haven't heard in a decade, and it plays on the radio the second you turn it on. You wrestle with a problem for weeks, and the solution appears, scribbled on a billboard you happen to glance at while lost in thought. You feel a sudden, inexplicable urge to call a friend, only for them to tell you they were in desperate need of help at that exact moment. We have been conditioned to label these experiences coincidences, to file them away as charming anomalies and move on. This dismissal is the most effective form of control ever devised. It is a program, installed in us from birth, designed to keep us from realizing the most fundamental truth of our existence. You are not a passive victim of a chaotic world. You are an active participant in a cosmic dialogue. These events, these synchronicities, are not random. They are the universe's response system. They are data points proving that your consciousness is not contained within your skull. It is a field, a broadcast, a signal that ripples through the very architecture of reality. The work of pioneers like Carl Jung gave us the vocabulary. He called it synchronicity, an acausal connecting principle. He saw it in his clinical practice, most famously when a patient dreaming of a golden scarab was interrupted by a real scarab beetle tapping at the window. For Jung, it was a glimpse into the machinery of the cosmos, but even he was only standing at the doorway. It was Jacobo Grinberg who dared to walk inside. In a series of stringently controlled experiments, Grinberg brought two subjects into separate Faraday cages, rooms completely shielded from all electromagnetic radiation. He would show a series of intense visual stimuli to one person, while the other sat in silence in the other room, hooked up to an EEG machine. The results were impossible, according to classical physics. The moment the first subject registered a neural response to the stimulus, the second subject's brain, blocks away and completely isolated, would show an identical, instantaneous response. He called this transferred potential. It was the first hard, scientific evidence of a non-local consciousness, an invisible network he named the neuronal field. He proved that on a fundamental level, our minds are not separate. They are interwoven in a silent, instantaneous conversation. His work suggested that telepathy, intuition, and shared consciousness were not paranormal abilities, but our natural biological birthright. Then, he disappeared. At the same time, Michael Talbot was assembling the theoretical framework to explain how this could be possible. Drawing on the work of quantum physicist David Bohm, Talbot proposed that our universe operates like a hologram. In a hologram, Every single fragment contains the information of the entire image. If you break a holographic plate, you don't get a piece of the picture. You get the whole picture, just at a lower resolution. He argued that our reality is the same. We are not separate parts of a vast universe. We are each a complete expression of the whole. Every thought, every feeling, every intention you hold is not a localized event in your brain. It is a wave pattern that instantly propagates through the entire cosmic hologram. This is why your internal state is so perfectly and consistently mirrored by your external reality. The universe isn't just responding to you, it is you. Synchronicities are not messages from an outside force. They are the hologram rearranging itself to reflect the information you are broadcasting. These two discoveries, Grinberg's neuronal field and Talbot's holographic universe, are not separate theories. They are two sides of the same revolutionary truth. Together, they form a functional blueprint of reality's operating system. A system based not on linear cause and effect, but on resonance and meaning. And it is a truth that dismantles the very foundation upon which our modern world is built. Why? Because a population that understands its own creative power cannot be controlled. Individuals who navigate by their direct connection to the universe's intelligence no longer need external authorities, be they scientific, religious, or governmental, to tell them what is real or what is possible. And so, this knowledge was not just ignored, it was actively suppressed, not by a shadowy cabal in a secret room, but by a collective paradigm, a global operating system of materialism that automatically rejects anything that threatens its code. This system has built three invisible walls around your perception, three pillars of a prison you were born into but never knew existed. The first pillar is your energetic signature. You have been taught that your thoughts are private, ephemeral things. They are not. Every emotion you sustain, from the deepest gratitude to the most persistent anxiety, broadcasts a specific frequency. This is not a metaphor, it is physics. This broadcast, your energetic signature, is the magnet that draws experiences to you. When you operate from a state of genuine love, clarity, or joy, you are vibrating at a high frequency. The neuronal field, the holographic reality, responds by arranging circumstances that match this frequency. Opportunities appear, the right people find you, and solutions manifest with an effortless grace. This is not positive thinking. It is resonant engineering. Conversely, when you marinate in fear, resentment, or a sense of lack, you broadcast a low-frequency signal. The universe, in its perfect impartiality, mirrors this back to you. Obstacles multiply, relationships become fraught with conflict, and you find yourself trapped in a feedback loop of your own unconscious creation. Modern society is a low-frequency generator. The 24-hour news cycle, the manufactured culture of competition and comparison, the economic pressures, they are all designed to keep you in a state of low-grade anxiety, ensuring you remain a weak broadcaster, easily managed and disconnected from your true power. To take control of your reality, you must first become the master of your own internal state. The second pillar is the invisible program. This is the social conditioning that acts as a perceptual filter, preventing you from even seeing the synchronicities that are constantly unfolding around you. The educational system teaches you that consciousness is a random byproduct of brain chemistry. Religion teaches you that miracles are the domain of sanctioned prophets and deities, not an innate human capacity. Materialist science dismisses any evidence to the contrary as anecdote or delusion. This programming is so effective that, when you witness a profound synchronicity, your first instinct is to rationalize it, to call it a coincidence, to shrink the event to fit your conditioned worldview rather than expand your worldview to fit the event. Breaking this conditioning is an act of intellectual rebellion. It requires you to trust your own experience over the doctrines of authority. It demands you have the courage to say, "I know what I saw, I know what I felt, and it was real." The third and final pillar is the cosmic language itself. The universe does not speak in sentences. It speaks in symbols, patterns, and archetypes. This is a language your rational mind has been trained to ignore, but your soul understands it perfectly. Repeating numbers, 1111, 444, 222, are not random. They are signposts, confirmations from the field that you are in alignment or that you need to pay attention. Animals that appear in unusual ways are not just animals. They are messengers carrying the archetypal energy of their species. The eagle's vision, the spider's creativity, the wolf's instinct. Dreams are not just random neural firings. They are a direct line to the subconscious, where it processes information from the neuronal field and presents you with symbolic solutions to waking problems. To learn this language, you don't need a dictionary. You need to cultivate stillness. You need to pay attention. You need to ask when these symbols appear, what does this mean to me right now? The meaning is always personal, always tailored to your journey. Mastering these three pillars, your energy, your perception, and the language of symbols, is the key to unlocking your ability as a conscious co-creator. But this path comes with a profound responsibility. When you begin to operate in this way, your life will radically transform, and not everyone will be ready for it. Relationships based on shared trauma or superficial needs will simply fall away, not out of anger, but out of energetic incompatibility. You will find that your very presence makes people who are committed to their victimhood uncomfortable. This is the lonely part of the journey, but it is also the magical part. Because as the old connections dissolve, new ones will appear with breathtaking synchronicity. You will meet the people who are part of your soul's true purpose, the collaborators, the partners, the teachers who were waiting for you to come online. Professionally, you will learn to navigate by intuition, to sense the opportunities that are truly aligned with your purpose, and to avoid the tempting detours that lead to burnout. But be warned, the ego will try to hijack this process. It will be tempted to use this power to manifest purely material desires, wealth for the sake of status, power for the sake of control. This always backfires. The neuronal field responds to authenticity, not to manipulation. Using this sacred technology for selfish ends creates a dissonant feedback loop, amplifying your fears and insecurities until your reality crumbles. True power lies in aligning your personal will with the flow of the cosmic intelligence, using synchronicities not to get what you want, but to become who you are meant to be. So the question is no longer whether this is real. You know it is. You've felt it your entire life. The real question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you continue to pretend you are a powerless observer, a victim of circumstance, living within the confines of a program you never agreed to? Will you keep dismissing the whispers of the universe as mere coincidence? Or will you have the courage to assume the role you were born to play, the role of the conscious architect of your reality? The choice requires you to abandon every story you've ever told yourself about who you are and why things happen. It requires you to take absolute, unconditional responsibility for your experience. There are no villains, no saviors, and no accidents. There is only the mirror of reality, reflecting the state of your own consciousness back to you with perfect, unwavering fidelity. This is the Great Awakening. Not a future event, but a present moment choice. The choice to stop listening to the programming and start listening to the universe, which has been speaking to you in code all along.